Hello friends, we are back with the GST classes, and in today's video we will see two things, that is problems of indirect taxes and the objectives of indirect taxes. So let us start with the problems of indirect taxes. Now when you speak about indirect taxes and the problems, the first thing that you will find is the cascading effect. Now what is this cascading effect? We use this cascading effect, this word we have derived it from the physics. And what do you mean by that? If you take two different colors and if you see through it, if you let pass a ray of light, and if you see through it, you will see altogether a different color. You will see the third color when you are using two colors. So the third color, that is the addition to that projection. Now we call this effect as cascading effect in physics. Now what is the effect in commerce, in taxation? Now let us understand, there is one tax and there is another tax. When two taxes merge together, you will see altogether a third tax. Or in other words, let me tell you, if there is a good, there is a product and you have already paid taxes on it, and when you try to sell it again, and while selling it you are again taxing it, it means you are taxing two times or more than that. And therefore this addition of taxes takes place and the price of good increases, and therefore we call it as cascading effect. Right? How it all happens, we will see all the practical things in upcoming videos. Right? We will see how practically it does. This is a cascading effect. Now if you ask me, sir, in short, what do you mean by cascading effect? Cascading effect is you are charging tax on taxes. Tax on taxes, cascading effect. Okay, and then multiple taxes, the second biggest problem of indirect taxes. Multiple taxes, so many taxes. If you try to purchase one good, there are different taxes on it. You have to pay all such taxes, and only then it is available for you to avail it. Right? And then no uniformity in state taxes. If you go to Karnataka, there is a set of tax that you have to pay. Fine. If you go to Maharashtra, there are different set of taxes that you have to pay. If you go to Rajasthan, if you go to Tamil Nadu, if you go to again Delhi, there are different set of taxes, and also there are different rates for the same good. Like if you are purchasing a mobile in Karnataka, you are paying some different tax. If you are going to Kolkata, right, you are paying different taxes, different rate of taxes over there. Right? Now why this all happens? It happens because earlier we had VAT, value added tax, which is called sales tax within the state. Now in technical terms, I call it as, the constitution calls it as intra-state transaction. Intra-state means within the state transaction. Now for such transactions we earlier had VAT, and this VAT is a power, is a matter of state government, and different states had different laws for VAT, and they used to charge differently, and this is how we had different rates and different taxes. This was the problem earlier. Now think of that businessman who had a business in more than 2 states. If there was a person who is a national player who has business in almost all the states, now look at his compliance cost. Understanding, he had to think of all different taxes and add different rates for all those different goods in different states. Don't you think there is a confusion? Right? So no uniformity in state taxes, that was the point. And again, one more problem was assumption of goods and services as two different things. Earlier we had defined, yes, this is the good and these are the services. We had defined it earlier, and now we also, today also we define these are the goods and these are the services. But if you take the, period of pre-GST, there we had the problem. And what was that problem? The problem was identifying whether it is a good or service. Now I will give you an example. Software. Your software, is it a good or service? If the GST Council had not defined what is this software and is it a good or is it a service, then there was a problem earlier, right? How do you consider that? Now if you go to hotel, you are getting a dish for nominal price, and that dish, is it a good? Yes, it is a good. But don't you think service is included in it? Yes, service is also there. Now the proper definition of good and service was not there earlier, and even if it was there, we had to consider good as different, service as different, and tax them differently, right? So single business which was doing both the things was a problem earlier. More compliance cost and more the procedural cost was included, and then high compliance cost. That was what I was speaking about. Okay, prior to that, state will have no share of revenue in central taxes and vice versa. There was a problem earlier. What was that? State had its own revenue. Central government has its own revenue. State had no share in the state government's revenue, and central government had all the control over the state government's revenue. Now there was a problem again. Then, all the states were literally suffering, but our Constitutional Amendment Act, 122nd Constitutional Amendment Act, has given us the goods and services tax, which resolves all these things. We will go ahead. Complex compliance procedure. Consider we had a business, manufacturing business. Now manufacturing business will obviously purchase raw materials. While purchasing raw materials, different raw materials had different taxes, and if you are purchasing it from different state, you had to pay again different taxes. Now collect all those raw materials after paying tax, process it. While processing it, you had to pay manufacturing cost, that is the central excise duty earlier. Okay, before the GST I am speaking about, we had to pay central excise duty, and this central excise duty, if you have paid, that is fine. The goods have now manufactured and now it is ready for sale. When you are selling it, again the taxes. If you are selling within the state, VAT is applicable. If you are selling outside the state, central sales tax, CST, is applicable. Or if you are providing service tax is applicable, right? So complex compliance procedure, if you are paying these many taxes, it means you had to pay to the government by filling the applications, and that application form will cost you something, and again those extra amount that you are paying to the GST professional, or let us say tax professional, right? That was again different. There was a problem, right? That is what we are speaking about, complex compliance procedure. And then last point is problems of credit and refund to the taxpayers. State, you have paid earlier, VAT credit was there. VAT credit, it means you have paid 100 rupees VAT, you will get 100 rupees credit. This was there, fine. Now if you have paid VAT, you had to wait for state government to respond. If you have paid a central sales tax, you had to wait until central government responds. Now fine, you have already paid, let us suppose you have paid central excise duty. Now central government will say, central excise duty, excise department will look after it. Why should I worry if I am handling central sales tax? Now there was a problem again, right? So this is what we are speaking about. Credit and refund to the taxpayers was very difficult, and it was almost burdensome for the taxpayer. There were so many other problems. Other than this, there is a big list of problems of indirect taxes, which will be given to you in the notes later. But try understand the problems. These are the major problems which was faced by every taxpayer in the indirect tax regime before the introduction of GST. Now you will ask me, sir, now we have GST. Has it all resolved these problems? Yes. Theoretically, yes. Practically, no, because we don't have that beautiful infrastructure which is mentioned in the GST Act. But fine, we means the government of India is working to get that infrastructure and make available to all the taxpayers. Making and keeping the taxpayer happy is the main motto of the government. Okay, government is looking after it. And then objectives of introduction of GST or needs. Why do you want GST? It is because of these many problems. Okay, earlier we had these many problems. To resolve these problems, we wanted the GST. And look at the points. Eliminates cascading effect. It means that was a problem earlier. Now this GST eliminates cascading effect. It means zero tax on tax you are paying. You are paying taxes only once on one good. Okay, I repeat, you are paying one tax on one good or one service. You are paying tax only once. Simple tax compliance procedure in the GST. Now you all know GST can be paid completely online, 100% online. You need not go to tax office and pay there. Now also you can go to the tax office, but it is better if you pay it here on the screen, right? Zero compliance procedure. See, you take your details, you upload your details, and your work is done. Right? You can pay the taxes through internet banking, right? Electronically. Single window for compliance that reduces time and effort. Single window. If you go to gst.gov.in, all types of GST can be paid over there. No need to worry about anything. सर मुझे एक्साइज ड्यूटी भरना था, सर मुझे सर्विस टैक्स भरना था, सर मुझे वैट भरना था, मुझे डिफरेंट काउंटर्स पे जाना होगा, वहाँ का प्रोसीजर देखना होगा, वहाँ का कंप्लायंस कॉस्ट देखना होगा, सर मुझे टैक्सेस भरना पड़ेगा. अरे यू नीड नॉट वरी नाउ. You need not worry now. You have to only open gst.gov.in, log in, register. If you don't know, visit a GST practitioner or chartered accountant. They will work for you. Don't worry. And their fees is nominal, right? It can be done. Now that is what is the single window which reduces your time and effort, right? Next point, reduces number of taxes. Earlier we had so many different indirect taxes, all that have been scrapped, and now you are paying only one tax, that is called as GST. Next point, faster economic growth. Economic growth, if you grow your economy, you want revenue, and if you are generating revenue faster, your economic will grow faster, right? And if the businesses run faster, you need not worry, because we have GST which has only a single window. From that window only, okay, if there is a window, from that window only I am paying the taxes, and from the same window I am getting the refunds. So my time and effort will reduce, and therefore I can invest more time and effort in my business. I can develop my business. Similarly, all other taxpayers can develop their business, and therefore economy will grow definitely. Boost for the ease of doing business in India. You might have heard of this point earlier, ease of doing business in India. See, doing business in India was very difficult earlier, because you had to take so many permissions from many government units, government departments, and now it is all online. It is an initiative of Modi government, that is Digital India initiative, okay? Startup India government is also helping you in all manner if you are starting a business, right? Let us stick to the taxation subject, okay? These are the two different points that we have seen in this video: problems of indirect taxes and objectives or needs for introduction of GST. Right? So in the next video we will see the features. What are the features of GST? Now you have understood why there was a need for the introduction of GST. This was what my point in this video. Why there was a need for the introduction of GST. Now now you will be able to answer. Okay, see you in next video.